Go. We should be live. That is perfect. I'll wait until chat confirms that we are indeed live before starting today's live stream, but it is once again Teddy Pikachu time. So it's been 2 weeks since the last stream. I know it's not ideal, but I've been trying to focus on my actual videos on the channel, like the Sirocco series, the actual Zwift videos, because I kind of enjoy making the process of making videos. But also I like the addition of the live streams because I can literally talk to you guys in chat throughout those. So that is always fun. Gotta check whether it's actually working according to chat. That means yes. Taylorson in the chat. Hello, my friend. So before we begin, a couple of small things when it comes to our plans here. I've got content planned for the next week, of course, next to this live stream, and that starts with a Zwift and Sirocco video dropping normally this week. So 2 more videos this week before we jump into next week there. So that is that. Some other admin is the fact that this Sunday is the start of the Virtuslow Foreigner and Zwift League, which is a 6-week series, racing series on the trainer on Zwift every Sunday. So 6 races across 6 weeks every Sunday. And there's 2 time slots, 10 a.m. in the morning, 6 p.m. in the afternoon, where I challenge you to join me. So you can find the link for that racing series on Zwift in the description. But hello, Chad. Hello, Alan. Welcome. Happy Slav as well. He asks, are you in Belgium on the 22nd of December? I know what you're referring to. I genuinely don't know yet. So guess we'll find out closer to the date. How am I doing? Pretty good, actually. I have a very busy week because I decided to put a lot of content in the next few weeks when it comes to PCM and Zwift, to the point that I'm maybe stretching myself a little bit thin. And of course, with the podcast on top of that, where we are trying to kind of bulk record the team previews a bit in the next week so that we can spread them across the next few weeks and have I wouldn't say a few weeks of the podcast, but a few weeks of team previews, I would say. But that's kind of the plans for the coming weeks, I would say. Hello, Lytics. Hello, Renze. Finally, more streams. Yes, indeed. And actually, about that, next to this stream, I hope to make another stream somewhere in the next weeks where, like, sure, we had our award show on the Lantern Rouge Cycling podcast, most important award show in the world, bigger than the Oscars. But there's also the Velo d'Or happening, and they've got this thing where you can now vote as a individual if you pay a little bit of money. Now, I don't recommend anyone to pay just to vote on your favorite cyclist, whatever. I don't think that's worth the money, but I will do so instead. So I think it would be a nice live stream if I do my Velo d'Or picks on a live stream, and you can chat at me or against me, depending on whether you like my picks or not. I think that's a good live stream plan for somewhere in the next week. But we will jump straight into our plans for today. Let's take a look here. Teddy Pikachu, let's go. Our man is 21 years old. Let's take a look at his stats at the moment. He's got 76 mountain, 77 medium mountain, 67 time trial, still a weakness, and so is the 70 hill stat. Cobble 76, sprint 68. So we probably won't be winning the Champs-Élysées sprint too much unless we've got a lot of Montmartre climbs in it. That is the vibe here. Last time we did Étoile de Bessèges and the first race of the season, Trofeo Calvia. And today we have the following plans. Actually, no victory so far this year, so hopefully at some point we get close to a victory. But I think a good result in a World Tour Classic would already be a fantastic outcome. Nonetheless, let's take a look at our calendar now. We're going to take on these 3 French races first. The Classic Var, we've got the Tour des Alpes Maritimes, then the Tour des Alpes Maritimes. Oh yeah, that's a 2-day stage race. That makes sense. And then after that, we go to the Omloop het Nieuwsblad and Kuurne-Brussel-Kuurne. I will probably do just these 5 races in today's stream. And then the next stream will be taking on Tirreno Adriatico. I think that's a nice split up. And I do expect Omloop and Kuurne to take quite a bit of time to go through. So about a 1 hour and a half live stream is what I'm aiming for. But this should be fun. How is our chat doing? How have you been enjoying the off season? Because let's be honest about it, no racing hurts in here, doesn't it? The first week I'm like, okay, a bit of calmness before we continue moving towards the next season. But now I'm like, okay, I want to start talking about next season, you know? But I think our plans here are simple. One small thing when it comes to our training, rightfully, my training plan was criticized in the comment section of the last video because I started to include fitness segments. Wait a second. Let me make sure that my boy's actually training because apparently he is not for it this week. That is not very smart. So we've got a week without week's actions. Okay. Claps for Benji. He bottled it. But what I was about to say is we had included a... Oh, I'm choking on my training schedule. We had included a physical week action as well, which we shouldn't because it's much more important that we get our stage races training as close to 100% as possible. And if we start using physical, then we're going to upgrade faster, which means that my stage racing week's action won't be at 100% yet. So the closer we get it to 100% before we upgrade is the most important part over the speed at which we upgrade. Does that make any sense? If not, the comment section in the chat will figure out what I meant. I know, I understand that quite a few of you think about my training schedule as, okay, if you don't have as many goals as I have, then your rider's gonna grow up and train better and faster. But inside, I want to play it somewhat realistic, and it is realistic for a rider to have multiple goals in a season. So it would be unrealistic for me to just have one goal at the end of the season and just green bar training weeks all year just to make sure my rider grows faster. I don't like that idea. I know it's better. I don't want to do it. I'm sorry, chat. But I think this is our moment. I think this is the moment we're waiting for. Our next race. Let's skip towards it. English is a problem for me today. What do you think about the Unibet Titema Rockets, now named the Unibet Rosa Rockets? I think they're a solid team. They're looking pretty great. A year ago, I would have never had this opinion. A year ago, I would have said, oh, they're pretty far from being at the Tour de France, stuff like that. They're as close to it as possible now. And they had luck. Lotto and Intermarché becoming one team means that an extra team becomes World Tour. That's something that helps them. On top of that, the UCI changed the rules so that there's now 5 wildcards instead of 4, which helps them. And I think because of these combined lucky situations, the Rosa Rockets will be at the Tour de France next year. I can feel it. But it's time to take a look at our race here, the Classic VAR, our first race of today. We are probably not the best puncher in our team. Adrien Maire's pretty good, Tom Gloag as well. It's a uphill punchy finish. Don't expect too much selectiveness towards the parkour. But the favorite is Santi Buitrago with quite a bit of good competition here. So this will not be that easy, but I kind of expect to have to be a domestique in this race. So that's fine. We'll see what happens. Let's jump in. Alan Klein says, I need the team previews already. We're recording a bunch of them this week. They will be releasing, I think, 2 team previews per week in the next coming week. So don't worry, you will not have a period without podcasts. That's for sure. But it's time to take on Santi Buitrago with Teddy Pikachu. I'm ready. Wally in chat says, but are not the fact Coffin is losing their World Tour slot bad as they're a French team and it's highly likely they get a wild card? So the way it helps them is, let me try and pause it for a second. So Cofidis drops to Pro Team, but Cofidis is only one of the 3 non-obligatory wildcards. So the Tour de France can give out 2 wildcards that are automatic to the best pro teams of the last season. And then there's 3, because the UCI changed the rules from 2 to 3 that they can give away to whatever team they deem the one they want. So for example, Cofidis will be one of that. And I think Q46.5 and Tudor will be the pro teams that deserve it automatically. And it is very highly likely that the Rosa Rockets get one of those 3 non-automatic wildcards. Because I can think of Total Energy. Arkea's gone, so they won't get it. And outside of that, I don't think any other pro team will get it. I just clicked away our strategy for the race. So let's take a look. Work at the head of a group for 25 kilometers with at least one teammate in the group. So we got to do the basic working in this stage, which is fine. I'm okay with that. This will always allow... 25k in a 170 kilometer race means we can just recover after working and still try to go for the stage at the end. So that's fine. I will wait to work at the front of the peloton though until breakaway formation is complete, because then the tempo I need to do to stay ahead of the peloton is a bit lower. Let's see. There we go. Break formation is done for. So Pikachu can go to the front on, let's say 70 and start right. Is that too much? Let's do 65. Is anyone overtaking me on 65? Not really. So let's keep rolling. 25k of work and we're going off the front. So looks like it's going to have to be 70, I'm afraid. Sorry, buddy. Gotta work hard. What do I think about Storm Ingebrigtsen signing for UNOX? What's the problem with Teddy Pikachu? Come on, stay at the front of the peloton, bro. I'm going to click on Infinite Relay, and that is supposedly supposed to keep me at the front of the group as I'm relaying, but clearly isn't working. I feel like that button hasn't worked all year with this edition of PCM. I don't know if it's just me not doing it right, but about Storm Ingebrigtsen, for the people that don't know, there's a dude on the team Co-op, Am I wrong in saying Co-op is Danish? Co-op is Danish, right? I think they're Danish. Ooh, I hope they're not Norwegian. On Co-op, there's a guy called Storm Ingebrigtsen who won the, I think, final stage or first stage of the Tour of Norway. I think the first one, actually. And he did that from the breakaway, strongly attacked from the break in the last couple of kilometers and stayed away just in front of the peloton, where the peloton sprint was won by, I think, Matthew Brennan. Fuck. Chat says that Co-op is Norwegian. I bottled it. It's not Danish. I'm sorry. My formal apologies to the entire nation of Norway and Denmark. But, so yeah, he's a typical Norwegian boy, you know? He's a typical UNOX boy. I'm saying Norwegian boy, but Ingebrigtsen is Danish, right? Am I insane? He's Danish, right? I know it's not the same country, don't worry. Ingebrigtsen's not, I wouldn't say an amateur guy. He's a Conti rider. But he's going to UNOX now, and I think it's a good signing. I think UNOX is a team that is becoming a World Tour team now, but at the end of the day, they have a limited amount of riders they can sign because they limit themselves to Norway. And really? Chat? I don't believe you. Ingebrigtsen is Norwegian and not Danish? My mind is blown, genuinely. His name sounds so Danish. Wait, Ingebrigtsen. Those 1500 meter runners. They're Danish, right? No. Are they also Norwegian? Crazy. Ay. I should look at the flags better when I think about the riders. What's my work here going? 11 kilometers. Let's speed this up because this is going way too slow. Break is 8 riders, but that's none of my business. What I was saying was UNOX is a team that will focus on signing Danish-Norwegian riders, so they are limited in their transfer possibilities. This means they can't just skip over a potential good rider. They have to gamble on them. Plus on top, you're right, chat, the Norwegian method. That makes so much sense. Their training is the Norwegian method. Ay. Anyway, skip that whole discussion. But this also means if UNOX signs mostly Danish and Norwegian riders, then Danish and Norwegian riders also know that they can get more money from UNOX than from other teams. So that's an intriguing aspect of this all. 22k done. Let's bring that up to 25. There we go. And should we do extra? I think we should do extra work, actually, even though I'm not liking the fact that we're spending so much energy. I'm probably over-pacing at 80, but every time I go to 70, my dude gets shoved off the front of the peloton. At the moment, he isn't, so that's good. 28. I think we need to do 31 and a bit. Is that correct? I think so. 31.25 is my brain dead estimate. And there we go. Going off the front, and my work is done. Tom Gloak, we return to quiet control at the front of the group. Teddy, no thank you, Tom. I'm not listening to you anymore today. Let's focus on recovering our yellow bar and going on times 8. Swak in the chat says, Victor Lafay is going to the Rockets. I swear that man was about to retire to sell cheese in Japan. Someone told me that story. It could be complete nonsense. But it's a really funny story. And I'm going to wing it with that story. But I'm a little bit worried about Lafay's salary. Because he's still a Tour de France stage winner. So I'm worried that they might be overpaying for his potential return. A good Victor Lafay can get a... Well, to be honest, I was going to say 1,000 UCI points, but even in his year where he won a Tour de France stage, he only got, I think, 900 UCI points. So, hot take, I think I would have spent that money elsewhere. Also because Victor Lafay is not... Based on what I perceive from the way he's acting, the way he's talking about retirement, the way he's been acting over the last 2 years since that Tour de France victory, he doesn't seem like a guy that lives for his sport. Could be wrong in that, but that's how I perceive it. So it's hard to imagine him becoming a beacon of consistency next year, you know? Am I being too harsh? Well, to be honest... Am I being too harsh? I called Pascal Ackermann geriatric on the podcast the other day, so I'm not sure. Oh, I just accidentally put my boy on 33. Chat says, lukewarm take, not good enough. Ay. London Lokes is attacking, so our teammate up the road. All that is good. I'm staying in the peloton, buddy. If we go for the stage, it's going to have to be on that final hill because... It's going to be an uphill sprint. I can feel it. So let's focus on times 8 for now. Whew. I've been enjoying our Sirocco playthrough a lot recently, actually. That Giro video was, if you've not seen it, interesting to say the least, but the episodes afterwards are also quite fun. So that should be enjoyable to watch for you guys. And after this stream, so in about an hour and a half, I'll do a Zwift race, which will be off stream. I'm afraid it's for a video. Let's make sure we don't get caught behind a split in this descent. Pelotons all together, so this is definitely going to be a sprint, you know? An uphill sprint, that is. Christopher Trebo in chat says, Benji, when are the CX recaps coming? I think the reality of the situation is never. At some point, I did have the idea of having a podcast where I, someone who doesn't watch CX, would collaborate or podcast with someone who does watch CX. And I just ask stupid questions, or, well, questions that come up in my mind that might be stupid, as someone learning on the job, you know? I think that would be a funny concept. But I didn't end up doing it because I just don't feel like I have the time at the moment. But I do have quite a bit of collaborations with other content creators coming up. And of course, you know the Tim Susky collabs are coming, so don't worry about that. Renzi says, only Belgian that does not watch CX. Controversial take, but the best CX race is the Turbo Cross. Last 36 kilometers are here. We've got a bit of bumps in the road, but it's all about that final hill. And yes, my yellow bar is negatively impacted by the fact that this has been a hard race with me working, but yellow bar won't matter on that final climb, that's for sure. It will all be about spending our red bar wisely and our timing. I'm being good enough, to be honest. We've got 71 hill. I don't know why I'm even trying. Alan Klein in chat says, I just started a new season in my career mode, and I got the same Giro parkour. I'm going to try and gain 15 minutes just like Carapaz. Yeah. Spoilers for the Giro video, by the way. Aye, aye, aye. I shouldn't have read the spoiler out loud. Okay. Let's go a bit further. Yeah, Tom Gloak. I don't care, buddy. I don't care. Nobody cares about you. He's going to Q36.5 in real life, right? I swear he's leaving Visma. For example, Q36.5's transfers this year are a big example of a team that signed Pidcock first, but then realized that they only have Pidcock. And then there's a giant gap to the other riders, which is a problem. Because if something happens to Pidcock, hypothetically, in the 2025 season, then Q36.5 is massively risked by that. So it's very good that next year they're building up that middle base of their team, you know, signing riders like Dunbar, Harper. Not sure I'm completely sold on signing riders like Bennett. Those will be overly expensive compared to what they can offer. But like Q36.5 is one of the teams that spend a lot of money on the transfer market. And if you look at the riders, you'd be like, okay, they can't be that expensive, right? But riders like Harper and Dunbar are above 500k. So you got to keep that in mind. Gloak's making a move. My teammate Mare is following. I'm just trying to keep myself in position, but I'm spending a lot of yellow bar doing so. Ah. Ouch. Lost 10k. I was saying that our yellow bar won't matter too much, but we're actually struggling a bit just staying at the front of the peloton, considering our yellow bar. Partially because we also don't have a teammate to protect us or anything. Can I move up to... Is that cut up? No, no way. Cut up us right for Antomache. I forgot about that completely. Anyway. We've got Mare following an attack. 6 kilometers to go. I'm just following. Staying in the wheel. We got to try and find a good wheel to be in the wheel of, though, in the final. So, can we get to the front a little bit more? Energy gel right now at 4.5 kilometers to go. Climb is coming pretty soon. I think my yellow bar will run out. I don't think I'll have enough to compete for the stage. I'm running out of yellow. This is not good. There comes the tempo of Santi Butrago with Higuita going. I think I'm running out of yellow. Last 2 kilometers here. Ah! I'm cooked. I'm so cooked. My bro is cooked. 93, 94. I'm gonna run out of yellow. I can't even sprint. This is not good. Our teammates are doing pretty good. Our teammates are doing pretty good. We're done for. So let's just look at the front of the race. Gloak on the left side of the road. Tom Gloak. Tom Gloak. Podium incoming, I think. I can't see the front of the race. Now I can. Maisonneuve is stage winner ahead of Aguirre and then Tom Gloak in third. And we finish somewhere in the top 20. Probably not even, so not the best race of our life. I think that's fair to say. But it worked for the team, and we're going to get XP for that, so that is good. Hello, Forza Ferrari. Welcome to the chat. Starting off with a mediocre result at best. Hopefully we do a little bit better on the upcoming races. Connection problem. Anyway, results page. 20th, so we do get a top 20, but we don't get anything for a top 20, so that's kind of useless. But our teammate does podium, so do I get XP for that? Yes, I think I do. Race classification best teammate, third in the race. So, I bottled it. I had to do... No, I didn't bottle it. Exceptional evaluation of work. That's good. Okay. So, let's see. Invitation for E3 Gent Wevelgem and Ronde van Vlaanderen, which means that... Are we riding any of that? We're riding RVV. That's terrifying. We are not ready for RVV. Not even close. Oh, that's going to be terrifying. We just don't have a hill stat. 71 hill will be difficult to compete on RVV with, you know? So, that with secondaries that are not ideal yet, cobble status that is not ideal yet. A top 20 will be difficult in that race with those stats. But I think our next move is heading to our next race. Swake asks, what do you think of Victor Soenens? That is a very out there name, Cole. He's a rider on Soudal Quickstep Dev Team. Had a really good Alps Isère Tour. Rode pretty decent at Copia Bartali. I'm having to PCS judge a bit because I don't vividly remember seeing him in person in races too much. I think he's a pretty solid rider. He's still 20, so I think it's the kind of rider that should stay a bit more in U23, which he is doing. Maybe one more year after this year, actually, depending on whether he can find the breakout this year. But for now, I think he's fine where he is. So, Alps Isère Tour. We've got stage 1 being right here a hilly parkour. Looks a lot harder than the race we just had. And then a medium mountain parkour. Looks actually more mountainous than medium mountain on stage 2. So this stage definitely fits us more than stage 1. But it's quite a bit of longer climbing on stage 1 that might make it more doable for us. So should be okay. Our teammates are obviously going to be our team leaders though, sadly. Piganzoli is the favorite ahead of Derek G and Sergio Higuita. We've got 2 teammates in the top 10 favorites. We are nowhere to be seen, but let's prove the game wrong. As always, let's jump in. I don't know what my goals are in a race like this. Like, at the end of the day, we're not the leader of our team, so I will have to work for the team, and then it depends on whether we have energy left after working. So I guess we'll find out. Okay then. Let's cook these frauds at the Tour des Alpes Maritimes. What else is happening in the sport of cycling these days? Okay, there we go. Roll co-leader. Oh la 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 la. Finish in the top 10 of the general classification. I did not expect that to happen, but I'll take that co-leadership. But it also means we'll stay in the peloton all day. We've got teammates. Why is Adrien Maire protecting me? I'm not that good. Huyek can protect me. I'll put the other 3 on automatic for now. And I'll just do ×8 for now. I think that's our simplistic goal here. Let's maybe move a little bit up towards Ledesma's position in the peloton. Just a couple of positions to stay in a... Why is our teammate working at the front? Lambert Wetzel, buddy. Why are you that highly positioned? Just stay in the middle, bro. Fabian asked, have you recovered from the Giro Sirocco result shock? Yes. I finished recording the next episode about 2 hours ago. Joe is going to edit it, and then it's probably going to come out on Sunday, is my expectation. But, yeah, I'm enjoying Sirocco at the moment, so that's also why the live streams have been a bit meager recently. And the reality is that more people, there's a bigger audience for the Sirocco videos as well, so those are a little bit more important than the Pikachu live streams. But I do find the Pikachu live streams important to connect with you guys, you know? Because a video is just a one-way street. A stream is a two-way street. Emil asks, hello, did I miss anything? Not really, to be honest. We rode our first race earlier, and let's just say it didn't go that well, but we did our work for the team, so they can't complain. And do you watch cyclocross? Asks Thomas. I mentioned it earlier a little bit. I am not a fanatic watcher of cyclocross. To be honest, the only one I've watched last year was a Turbocross. So I guess that's an answer to that question. It's not that I don't want to watch or that I don't like cyclocross. It's more that I spend so much time on road cycling, even during the off season, that I think I don't have the time, the bandwidth in my mind to spend on cyclocross. I can only follow 1.5 sports, as in men's and women's cycling. I'm not saying that women's cycling is half a sport. I'm saying that it's basically the same sport, just women. Those are the two that my mind can handle at the moment. So the hardest climb is about to come. The last climb is quite steep. Those last two bumps. Let's hope the peloton doesn't go too extreme because, well, actually, the harder the race, the more it's about medium mountain stat versus hill stat. My medium mountain stat is better. Then again, the harder the race is, the less energy I'll have for the final hill. So I'm not sure what is better. But yeah, if you're wondering why I'm unable to upload, for example, 2 Sirocco videos a week or do a Sirocco video and a live stream every week, the reality is that my Zwift videos take a lot of time. At the end of the day, the majority of my income comes from indoor cycling and outdoor cycling videos, which means those are important for me to do. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the freedom to make these PCM videos. But, and those take a lot of time, those Zwift videos, which I enjoy because it also forces me to work on my fitness. Because I'm trying to lose weight over this off season. I'm trying to get better on the bike, and I want to be at my best level on the bike by, let's say, the end of January, maybe. But I'll probably be at my best in like half a year or something. Half a year, what am I saying? Half a month or something. Because I'm really close to my best level at the moment on the bike. Swaka asks, Benji, what is your FTP? Buddy, my last video. Check it out. Actually, second last video. It's a video where I did baseline tests about a month ago. And that video includes a FTP test at the end. But I don't want to spoil too much, but let's just say that in my next video of Zwift this week, hopefully, my level's already better. I'm getting better week by week, so that's going well. Last 2 climbs are coming. So, break is 4 riders with a gap of 3 minutes. We should be able to, well, we don't need to do anything, but the peloton should be able to catch them fairly easily. They are under control. And now it's our job to try and get the best possible result. Sinaraman is protecting me. He's got a better hill stat than me, so I'm not sure why he's not leader today, but I'll take it. I don't think much is going to happen on this first of the... Well, it's kind of 3 climbs, you know? That last climb is 2 climbs in 1. It's a staircase. I don't expect anything to happen on the first of these 2.5 climbs. Just controlling of the breakaway. Who still has 3 minutes? Who's in there? Paul Marty, Logan Curry, Paul Ursulin, and Salomone. I assume his name is Giovanni? Gianmarco? Giovanni Salomone. Right? Someone look it up, please. I've got no clue what his actual name is. Tell me it's Giovanni. There we go. Over this hill. As I expected, not too much action, but now they go. Oh, never mind. Someone going. Quartucci. Nobody cares. Quartucci's not a danger for us. For anyone, really. He's about to get caught again by Grelier. Anyway, over the top of this hill. I won't sprint for the intermediate sprint seconds because the breakaway is ahead. We cannot forget. Break is falling apart, but the gap is still 2 minutes. But I do expect them to be caught in the final stretch to the finish. Chat, really? It's Gabriel? Is his name actually Gabriel? That is the worst Italian name I've ever heard in my entire life. Formal apologies to any viewers that might be named Gabriel, but I can't lie. Sinara Man got dropped because the peloton split, so that's not great. Boys, come on. Get back to me. I need a domestique on the final climb. Last 24 kilometers. 1.5 climbs left. We are in the peloton. Break has a minute, so they are getting caught. No doubt about that. Gonna go 2 times 2 until the climb starts, because otherwise it's gonna take another decade to get there. And let's go. So we are well positioned. In an ideal world, Saint-Germain, Baptiste Hie, I don't know what his name pronunciation is, and Lambert Weasel. Ideally, those guys were next to me, because then they could protect me. Break is caught, Logan Curry. Let's try and move up a little bit. There comes a move by Piganzoli. That's the favorite in this race. Rides for Arkea now. I don't feel like I'm responsible to chase down the favorite in the race, you know? So I'm just going to try and follow the front riders here. If any splits happen, I do want to be in the front split. Lots of riders trying to attack. My energy looks second best in the team. Wait a second. London Lokes, we return to quiet control. I'm co-leader, buddy. I'm not working for you. Piganzoli has been caught right there. Covered is spacing with 12 kilometers to go. It's all about saving our yellow bar so we can fight on the final climb. That's what I'm thinking. 40 riders in the group. It's all about surviving. All about surviving. 40 riders in the group means that we will at least be in the top 40 of GC in this race. Hopefully we can do top 15 something. Our team manager wants top 10, so... Ooh, we've got a couple of sprint trains or climbing trains forming. Adrien Mayer on the left side of the road, London Lokes on the right. We're all going for ourselves. We're all fully selfish here. 8 kilometers. Just keep following. I'm spending so much yellow bar though. I don't like that. I wish I had a teammate right now. I'm telling you. 6.5 kilometers. We've got Roulon moving up for Piganzoli, who is not in the front part of this peloton. Do we have enough yellow bar? I think we do this time around, so that's good. I can't follow anyone because it's an uphill finish. Climb is about to start. Positioning is key, so let's do 86, 87. Come on, boys. Come on. Follow. Let's follow Hubi. That's a terrible rider to follow. Pause. Who's on the right? Burgodeau. I like Burgodeau a bit more. Hubi. I'll go Hubi. Fuck it. Energy Gel way too late, as always. We are in the wheel of Antoine Hubi. We've got someone going. Is that Piganzoli already? Is that stupid to follow? I think it's stupid, but I'll do it anyway. There we go. I'm in the wheel of Piganzoli. I'm spending lots of energy doing so. Mistakes were made maybe, but we're going to try and get a top 10 here. Lokes on the left side of the road. Some riders trying to get past. There comes Antoine Hubi. We should have followed him. We should have kept following him, but I think it's going to be a top 15 on the stage, which is fine because the second stage of this race fits us better on paper. But Piganzoli, the favorite, takes the victory. Okay. And we finish 12th. That's fine. Big Papa Janzi in the chat says, hello from Slovenia. Hello, my friend. Oh, back in the day, I could introduce myself in Slovenian, but I've lost it. Dobrodošli nazaj, Dobrodošli nazaj, mi namo je Benji. Does that make sense, chat? Well, the majority of chat doesn't speak Slovenian, but I assume the Slovenian guy can say whether it's Slovenian. Okay then, first stage done. We're cooking. Well, are we? We're getting cooked. We are in the same time as second place, so it's not that big of a deal, which means we are 12th in GC, so that's a good starting point, I would say, for this race. And the next stage on paper fits us better. We get 0 XP, 12th, so mediocre. It's a bit sad, but we're about to change that. Taylorson in chat says, with the Lotto Enter Machine merger and Arkea on the way out, what can realistically be done to make pro cycling more sustainable? Can I be honest? I think the sport is doomed. I'll get into the stage and then we'll talk about it. So, Derek G is the favorite. Higita, Carapaz, Spiganzoli, blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. It's all about Teddy Pikachu. Everybody knows that. Second last climb is bigger than the last climb, but the last climb is also better for us than the stage we just had because it's more of a medium mountain than a hilly finish. Hello from Aachen says, Kanal zur Zeit, nicht aktiv. Hey, my German's not bad either, eh? Hello from João Almeida's land, says Gabriel Varela. Hello, I don't speak Portuguese, I'm afraid. I'm not trying that. Hello from Warsaw, Micah the Goat. Micah the Goat indeed. I remember his polka dot victories in at Saxotinkov very, very vividly. Hey, there we go. Still co-leader. That's perfection. Gonna pop myself relatively to the front of the peloton. I'm too close in GC to go in the break, so Saint-Armand get back to domestique duties. Rainy conditions. We are Teddy Pikachu. We can handle that. Actually, no. Oh my god, chat. We are an electricity Pokemon, right? Which means that Pikachu plus water equals we're getting electrocuted right now. This entire race, Teddy Pikachu is getting electrocuted. Ay, 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 ay. Horrible. Horrible. Jelmer says, hello uit Copenhagen. That doesn't sound very Danish. That sounds Dutch. Yeah, Garner Irelandia, I would have expected that you're from Ireland, considering it's literally in your name. Anyway, let's put the camera correct. The question from Taylenston was, with the Lotto Intermarché merger, what can realistically be done to make pro cycling more financially sustainable? I think the reality of the situation is that an element of that is sports washing. There's a lot of money going from teams like UAE, Team Emirates, etc. into the sport, which means that if there's so much money at the top, the bottom teams will struggle to compete because while maybe 15 years ago, my local, let me try and think of something, my local crane company could fund the cycling team, that's not possible anymore. It's always bigger and bigger companies that will have to sponsor to keep up with the big money in the top level of the sport. Does that make any sense? So I think that's a problem. The question then is, can you solve that with a salary cap, stuff like that? There's negative sides to salary caps as well, so I'm not sure that's the solution. In the US, that's usually done, I think, in closed-off leagues. So sports where there's a first division in the sport and there's no way to get into it through promotional relegation. So it's all those teams pay to be in the first division. Which, I don't know, I like the idea of teams being able to drop out and promote because that gives accountability to when a team does bad or good. It also creates openness to companies getting back up. I don't know, I'm just yapping, eh? So I haven't thought this through at all. There could be major flaws in what I'm saying. I think another downside to a salary cap is, let's say we put a salary cap on UAE Team Emirates. I think they still pay a lot of money for Tadej Pogacar. Plus, I think it's the domestiques that will earn, maybe not less, but will be capped to make space for a big rider next to it. That's a possibility. Oppositely, I don't know how this works, but in a closed-off league in the US, for example, if NBA, for example, I don't know if the NBA has salary caps. I'm just inventing that shit at the moment. But hypothetically, if the NBA has a salary cap, if you're LeBron James, how does the NBA prevent that LeBron James gets sponsorships from the team outside of the salary cap? So whether it's a sponsor of a shoe sponsor that works with a team that also sponsors him personally, stuff like that. Because I feel like in the sport of cycling, the UCI would implement something, the riders would find a way, the teams would find a way to circumvent it. and it would only punish the domestique level cyclists whose salary won't rise. So yeah, I'm just thinking out loud. Additionally, I'm not sure a closed league is even allowed in the EU. I think the EU laws prevent that, because I swear that was a topic of conversation when the Football Super League was something that was discussed. I don't know. I need to do bigger research before I start yapping on a live stream about salary caps. Yalmer in chat says NBA does have salary cap, and big NBA players usually do get most of their money from sponsors. So I assume that's from sponsors outside of the team salary cap, right? Because how is the salary cap working then? Because if riders are still getting paid more by sponsors related to the team or something. Tim Thomas in chat says the NBA is actually investigating an NBA team for potentially getting a player, Mr. Leonard. I'll go with that. A sponsor deal with what may have been a fake company just to get around the salary cap. Doesn't shock me. Kanal Zurzeit asks, what's your opinion on the development of Florian Lipovic, or in general of German cyclists? In last year, TDF experts of German TV were full of hope because of Buchmann. Sorry to any German watching, Emanuel Buchmann is done for. I don't see value in him at a World Tour team. I hope I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. He can't score UCI points, or he does not score UCI points. His level is not good enough throughout the season to compete for anything really at the moment. But Lipovic is a big one. Like, he podiumed the damn Tour de France. Even if he does not develop from this level, he can podium the Tour de France for the next 5 to 7 years. That means you're a good rider. And podiuming the Tour de France means you can also compete for a Grand Tour outside of the Tour de France. Lipovic can compete for a Grand Tour victory that is not the Tour de France. It's going to be difficult against Pogacar and Vingegaard. And maybe against Remco if there's a lot of time trial kilometers. But at the Tour de France, Lipovic was the better climber. Then again, the Tour de France last year, Remco's level was better. A lot better than he was at the Tour de France this year. So best Remco versus best Lipovic would be a pretty good fight for a Grand Tour, depending on the TT kilometers. I expect Lipovic to be a pretty solid rider for the coming years. And also, a lot of quacking is being done about Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. They are in a difficult situation. Remco Evenepoel, Florian Lipovic. But next to that, Roglic. Also, the fact that Remco and Florian are in the same team means that we won't see a Grand Tour between Florian and Lipovic. They're both candidates for a Grand Tour victory outside of the Tour de France. They're both candidates to podium the Tour de France. But them being in the same team doesn't mean a bad thing for the Tour de France necessarily. I think both those riders can show up to the Tour and be co-leaders. That won't hurt each other, you know? My comparison is, back in the day with Ineos, I don't know the exact... What I'm trying to say is, Remco and Florian Lipovic are both riders that are likely not going to be the most aggressive riders. They will podium a Tour de France by riding their own tempo on climbs and trying to survive like that. Stuff like that. Which means... Lambert Weasel crashed. That is sad. F in the chat for Lambert Weasel. What I'm trying to say is, their abilities don't counter each other. It's not like Remco's a super aggressive rider that will put Lipovic in trouble by continuing to attack, you know? They're survivors on climbing. They're tempo climbers, I would say. So, I think they're compatible. And I'd like to believe that they're both level-headed enough that if one's looking better for a Tour de France podium, the other will offer themselves up. Obviously, not if the gap is a minute between the two, but I'm talking if one's in 9th place and the other's in 4th place, the 9th place guy will probably help the 4th place guy attack 3rd place. They're not idiots, you know? Mike in chat says Florian and Lipovic's big rivals. I mean, Remco and Florian. I wasn't talking about the same rider. And also Roglic, there's space for him in the team as well. Like, I do think like we've overdone it a bit. We've got these extremes in the sport of cycling where we go from rider is good to rider is shit very quickly. Like, Roglic podiumed, well, Roglic won a Vuelta a year ago, right? Is it a year ago? A year and a bit. He's not washed in my... Roglic, the level I saw at the Tour de France, considering he had antibiotic stuff before the Tour de France because he had a bad run into the Tour, plus riding the Giro, Roglic can also still podium a Giro or Vuelta. I won't say win because I expect Pogacar to show up to the Vuelta and Jonas to show up at the Giro. But he could compete for a podium at the Vuelta, in my opinion. Because last year at the Tour de France, yes, Roglic finished 8th, but let's be honest about it, he literally threw away his top 5 in the final week. Roglic could have comfortably top 5 the Tour de France this year. He was looking for aura instead of results. Vera Silva in chat says, do you think Joao Almeida can win a Grand Tour? Yes. Of course. He was in contention for this Vuelta. Yes, Vingegaard ended up winning, but there were moments in the race where you're like, okay, Almeida's not completely out of chance here. Almeida can win a Grand Tour. Almeida was the third best GC rider of 2025. Simon Yates is... An argument can be made for Simon Yates that he's the third best GC rider of 2025. But Almeida was more consistent throughout the year, so I'd give it to Almeida, the third place. Okay. Yapping to the side, big climb about to begin, but I don't expect much to happen on this big climb. Break has 4 minutes with 76 kilometers to go, so that's under control. Monse in chat says, I don't think Poggy's going to the Vuelta. I think he wants ideal prep for Worlds. The reason I don't think so is because Vuelta starting in Monaco. He's got a close attachment to Monaco where he lives. I think he'll like to start to a Vuelta there. And also, I think it's time. It's time to complete the Giro Tour Vuelta triple across his career. Michael Wouters in chat says, Del Toro could win a Grand Tour, not Almeida. Or actually, it might be a response to Gabriel asking, do you think Almeida can win the Giro next year? Michael responds, no, I would say Del Toro and not Almeida. I think all three of those riders, Vingegaard, Del Toro, and Almeida, could win the Giro at their best level. But for Vingegaard to lose the Giro, then something maybe needs to go wrong a little bit. For Almeida to win, I'd expect Vingegaard to be a better climber than Almeida at his best level. Del Toro's the one where, with Vingegaard and Almeida, you feel like you know their ceiling, you know? Almeida reached his ceiling in 2025. I don't expect him to grow much more beyond that. Vingegaard is at his ceiling when it comes to his best level, in my opinion. I would be surprised if he makes a massive jump of like, I don't know, 30 to 50 watts of his FTP suddenly in the next couple of years. So my assumption because of that is that Del Toro's the one where we don't have that fixed ceiling yet. So he could still rise up. Klaus Hovards in chat says, Benji has a lot of voice cracks today. That is true. I've been recording for over 4 hours today. And in about an hour and a half, I'll do a Zwift race. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, Zutam Zaid, because we're taking a long time just skipping through the stage. Alan Klein in chat says, do you think we can even trust UAE to put both Del Toro and Almeida in a competitive position? What do you mean with trust UAE to put them in a competitive position? Do you mean that they'll prioritize one rider over the other? Do you mean that... I don't know. I'm not sure I get the question. But the action is about to begin. The last two climbs are coming. Let's see if we can top 10 this race as our manager wants. I'd like to believe we can, especially with 79 medium mountain on the day with 78 mountain. That sounds like potential top 5 territory. Just saying. I could be exaggerating. Mike Lund says this Giro is so easy it will be won by a hilly rider. Well, the Giro parkour is not public yet, mate. Come on. So we don't know. And the rumors sound like there's a couple of hard stages in there, so I'd be surprised. Break is about to be caught. One lone rider left. It is Robin Donzé. Flashbacks to our Tudor Pro Cycling career mode on the channel. Senna is protecting me. Tom Glock is a domestique now. That is shocking. Mer as well. Lokes is the only rider that has his own co-leadership next to me. Okay. So, position is not perfect at the start of the second last climb. The Côte de Paix. The Côte de Paix! Oh la la! Côte de Paix is the climb that is in the final stage of Paris-Nice. And I think that's the climb where in 2023, maybe? Wout van Aert, maybe 2022. Wout van Aert and Roglic tried to launch. And then by the end of the race, Roglic was on the back foot. But the Côte de Paix, legendary climb because it's actually a hard climb. 6.8 kilometers at 7.5%, but the last kilometer and a half are easier. What comes before is harder. Trying to keep myself in position. 2 attacks by Alessandro Vere and Maxime de Comble. Pierre Latour at IPT. Fits. It fits. We have to be honest. Latour at a retirement home team, that is logical. 20 kilometers to go over the top of the Côte de Paix. It's going to be a smash watt per kilo test on the final climb, I think. Can I move up? Actually, I'll move up in the descent. There's going to be no splits here on this climb. Saint-Germain is still with me. Tom Glock is there as well. He can sit in my wheel as potential protector for the final climb. Remain can try and recover on this downhill, and I can try and move up when it comes to my position. 47 riders still in the peloton with 1 climb left. So let's do times 2 to the foot. The Col d'Aise. So also the climb from the final stage of Paris-Nice. And also the climb from the final stage of the Tour de France Femmes next year. Looks like we've got the steep one as well. Let's do times 4. And let's cook these frauds, shall we? Our yellow bar is moving up. That's good. Now it's time for us to move up in the group. Climb is about, how long is that final climb? 4.7k. I think I'll just use Glock to protect me. Remain is done for, yeah. That's my plan. There we go. Into the final stretch towards the foot. I'm spending a bit of my yellow bar, but I'm okay with that. Because I should have enough for a 4.7 kilometer climb. Energy gel right now, onto the climb. Oh, my team just shredded it. I don't want to go 87 yet. There comes an attack by, I think that's Emmanuel Buchmann. If this guy wins the stage, come on. Can't be. I'm trying to go 88 to try and follow. I just don't... Am I risking it by not being in the wheel perfectly? This will not be as selective as I hoped for. 87, 88, move up, buddy, move up. We need the tempo to die. Stonemitten trying something. Glock in my way is still protecting me. 89, let's do that. Come on, move up, move up, move up. Come on. It's going to be tough to make any difference here. 91, 92, 93. Come on, come on, come on. Can we podium this? Can we podium this? Last few meters. There you go, Pikachu. It's going to be 5 plays behind Labros, I think. But Stonemitten is winning. 5 planes means bonus seconds, which means we'll move up into the top 5 of GC. Am I inventing that? Could be wrong. Let's take a look, shall we? Definitely top 10. So we got our sponsor objective, I think. Or manager objective, at least. So that's Gucci. Whew. What a day, what a day. Finally a result. We got a podium at the Tour des Alpes Maritimes, our first results Oh, this season, I just realized. Because we had a pretty poor season so far with Teddy Pikachu. What is happening here? Not important. Unimportant family yap. Said the phone. Podium ceremony. Johannes Stonemieter is the winner of the stage. We finished third with no time gaps behind us. I was surprised by that, but we get a podium on the stage and 5th place in GC, so top 5. We overperformed compared to our sponsor, our manager expectations. Piganzoli, Stonemieter, and Labros is the podium. I was going to continue watching the podium to see if we have the white jersey, but that's not true. Because Stonemieter and Labros are basically children. Piganzoli... Wait, no. Piganzoli wins that, obviously. I was so confused. But a podium is a good stage victory. Well, it's a good stage result. Anyway, there we go. 15 GC plus 3rd on the stage. Manager is happy, so 39 XP. I'm good with that. And this means our next race is a pretty big one. Omloop at Nieuwsblad. I am looking forward to that. That is for sure. So let's continue. That's a great result for Pika. Mes Pedersen in chat. Not the real Mes Pedersen, I think. I cannot find Sirocco 4 Endurance in my database. I added the jersey myself to the game. That's why it's not available in any other database and stuff like that. 54 XP. Just about under the upgrade to the next level, which is good. Because I don't want to upgrade too early. Training-wise, we are on 55% when it comes to our training. But we are in a peak week right now. Because Omloop is a big race for us. That I hope to compete in. We got 76 cobble, come on. We can do this. So, let's see. Tomasz Kopecki is perhaps the rider that is leading the team. I hope not. Because I'd like to go for my own result here. At our first World Tour race. Omloop Nieuwsblad. The favorite is obviously Mathieu van der Poel. Stefan Kung, Wout van Aert, etc. Pierre Gauthierat is 5th favorite. That's a bit OP. But I hope we can ride for our own results here, so let's jump in. When do you think the parcours of the Giro 2026 and the Giro Dawn 2026 will be released? My assumption is January-ish. I think early January is my assumption. What do I think about the Tyrol KTM cycling team? Kel, I'll be honest, I don't really think about the Tyrol KTM cycling team. The only thing I remember is Lipovic comes from Tyrol KTM, right? Am I inventing that? Then he went to the... Am I inventing that or is that true? I don't remember. Or am I thinking of a different rider? Wait a second. Anyone in this chat right now? Did you ever see my Aeolo Cometa career mode on Pro Cycling Manager 2022-ish? Did I sign Lipovic in that? I feel like I've signed Lipovic in 2 career modes then. I could be wrong. Could be inventing this completely. I swear Lipovic was the guy at Tyrol that did biathlon or something, and then moved to... I hope I'm right or making this up. Yeah. Okay. Chat agrees with me. I'm glad I'm not inventing this. So that is good. I'm trying to get the break to be formed because we got a job here, sadly. We're not the leader of our team. That seems to be Tomasz Kopecki, who is injured. We're working for a dude that is ill. What? That's unfair. Come on. I'm healthy. Right for me. Objective, work at the head of the group for 30 kilometers with at least one teammate in the group. In hindsight, I probably should have gone in the break. Can we still go in the break? Is it too late? 77 cobble. Will I be allowed in the break? To be honest, I think the key to this race is playing as calmly as possible. Spending as little energy as possible, which will be super difficult. Because our boy is literally without teammates. But you're right, Renzi in chat. After all this time, Teddy Pikachu is taking on his first cobbles. Born as a Northern Classics rider. Oh, I'm so tired. So tired. I'm saying I'm tired, but I'm going to race on Zwift in like an hour and a half. Let's do times 8, shall we? Breakaway is already formed, I'm afraid, so breakaway is not happening for us. I reacted too late. But also, I'm not sure breakaway is a better idea on this race anyway. Because we'll spend so much more energy by being in the breakaway that I'm not sure it's going to pay off. Oh, did I just accidentally skip over the first cobbles of our man? No, we are on the first cobbles. It's our moment. Look, it's Pika on cobbles. Brilliant. So lovely. He looked at home. He looked finally happy, Chad. Okay. So, just about 50 kilometers, I think, before we get to the actual cobble segments. And then the race properly begins. It is the usual variant, so we're doing Muur van Gerardsbergen plus Bosberg at the end. My memories of climbing Muur van Gerardsbergen. Oh, painful. Partially because we had already done quite a bit of riding that day, but also I was walking up the steep section of the Muur. Like literally physically walking. I'm not saying I'm going slow, I said I was walking. Chat says MVDP puncture. I'm sorry, I don't care about MVDP. Lions don't think about sheep. MVDP is a sheep. Pikachu is a lion. Okie doke, break has 4 minutes. It's fine. Don't care. Oh shit, I had to work at the front of the peloton. I'm skipping it. Is it bad that I'm skipping it? It's probably stupid. But I forgot, so not that big of a deal. On the cobble segment, is it the Hollestraat? Probably not, I don't know. Or Paddestraat. The Paddestraat in real life is such a pain to ride, by the way. I love how it's like sunny conditions and my dude is as muddy as it can be. Hello, Jonas. Welcome to the chat. Fellow Belgian man. Actually, Dries de Bond looks to be the favorite, not Tomasz Kopecki, so we're not riding for a decapitated human. The Kotteberg is coming, the first of the hill zone. Okie doke. 600 meters, 7.5%. It's all about staying in position, not spending too much energy. I think that's the key here. Brakes on that climb already. There we go. This is the Kattenberg. Right? Is it? It was. But now onto the Holloweg. Just stay in position, don't spend too much energy. Peloton will come back together anyway, so we can ride on 70 effort. It's fine. Visma spacing with Kampenaerts, nice spacing for Little Trek. Akkerman riding for Little Trek. By the way, Akkerman getting signed for Jayco. I don't know about you, but I'm like, not sure that's a great signing. I think it's good to have sprinters, but I wouldn't have signed Akkerman, especially not for 3 years. He's already so much worse than his peak. What do you think is going to happen in the next 3 years? When I say stuff like that, I'm always hoping I'm wrong for the rider, but that's my honest opinion, you know? Ruben van Damme in chat asks, what are we riding? We are riding Omloop Nieuwsblad. There we go. Let's move up a little bit. To be honest, it's not necessary. We can stay on 70. We spent very little energy there. That's fine. Next segment is the Paddestraat. So that earlier cobble segment was definitely not the Paddestraat. Also, the Paddestraat. We got to talk about this. I swear, riding the Paddestraat, that I rode a downhill cobble sector on that. I think I rode it the wrong direction. Because in PCM right here, it's definitely uphill. But like when I speak downhill, it's like a proper downhill section on a cobble sector. You don't see that on TV, but it matters. It's sketchy. There we go, on the Paddestraat. Still a full peloton. We're gradually dropping through the peloton on these cobble sectors, but I'm doing so on purpose to make sure we don't spend an excessive amount of yellow bar. The less we spend, the better. Valkenberg is coming. Is that the Wolvenberg afterwards? I genuinely can't tell. Thanks, Teddy. You can relax a little bit. Sure, buddy. I was relaxing already. I haven't done anything in this race for my team. And I've got a feeling my manager won't be too happy about it. Unless I get a good result. So let's focus on that. So, Holloweg is once again the next cobble sector. Some attacks in the peloton. Let's move it down to 65. Let's not overspend energy. More attacks on the right side of the road. We've got Garcia Cortina, Degenkolb, and Axel Huns. Hagenes and Legac are pacing. So lots of teams pacing in the peloton, not just Visma. So any attacks that come, we don't need to react to because they're definitely not getting to the finish. Emre says this turned into a guess the sector quiz. Yeah, it is. It is the Wolvenberg. Woo! I'm fucking good. To be honest, it's an important aspect to my job to know the cobbles in the Flemish Classic, so it's only logical. Crash by Dylan Turns, Plancard, a bunch of other riders, Lampard as well. We gotta be honest, the more of our competition is on the floor, the better for us. Kerkhate coming up. I had a flat tire on Kerkhate once. Very sad day. There we go. Just chill on 70. Just make sure you stay in position. Breakaway group is now 14 people, but peloton is shredding to make sure that doesn't stay away. Let's do 75 for a second. Hi, Floris. How are you doing? Welcome to the chat. 45 kilometers. We're trying to stay in a relatively solid position. I swear someone just banged you now. We didn't get to see at the right bottom a notification for it, so that notification system does not work fully. There comes an attack by Jonas Ruch. Let's drop it down to 65 and replenish some energy. Molenberg is coming, so let's get ourselves in a good position because that one matters. Back to 75. To the wheel of Ricard. And on to the Molenberg pretty soon. I'm playing this really, really defensively. I think it's the only way we survive the Muur van Gerardsbergen and the Bosberg. So that's my thought process. Pacing by Wout van Aert. That's a bit odd. I assume he's still leader of that team, so not sure why that happened. Mathieu van der Poel right there. Hajo coming up. Let's drop it to 65 for a little bit. Actually, no. We have to stay on 75 just to stay in position. Break of 16 is about to be caught. I'm going to try and move up, though, because stuff can happen in response to this. And we're now not in a good position because all those riders are at the front of the group. Onto the Haaghoek. That was a mechanical by someone. Davide Bomboy has fallen. Pikachu's not very fast on cobbles, I'm telling you that. Hey Ruben, welcome to the chat. Pretty good over here. I want to get in a better position, but I also don't want to spend too much energy here. The Berendries is coming. I love the Berendries, by the way. It really is a climb that I enjoy climbing. I think it's the length of the climb, plus the fact that it's like the perfect gradual gradient, and that it has no cobbles. I enjoyed it, the Berendries. 700 meters at 7.7%. Felt longer than 700 meters in person, I won't lie. Riley Sheehan is the US champion. Lots of attacks happening at the moment. That's not my stuff to respond to. I want to get my full yellow again before we get to the Muur van Gerardsbergen. But I'm having trouble doing that because the tempo in the peloton is simply too high. Pika, Pika, Pika. My boy is starting to struggle, I'm afraid. What's the point of my team? Why did they try to help Dries de Bond? Bro's in Narnia. All the way in Narnia. I don't like my position. I don't like my position. Let's hope no splits happen. And there's a split happening. There's a split happening. I hope Visma or something closed that, but I assume that Wout van Aert is ahead. Blancard is now closing it. Way too much actions here in the peloton. Realistically, there should be no attacks right now. Everybody would be saving the energy for the Muur van Gerardsbergen in real life. I hope it helps me in the long term, but I'm struggling to stay in position. Come on, Pika, move up, move up, move up. Effort cursor 85, get past a few people. There we go, onto the Vestin of the Muur to the front of the group. My yellow bar is not looking good at all. Over the top, come on boys, 87, 88, follow, follow, follow. Just follow the group. Dries de Bond, shut up, you're not even in my group, shut up. Get over the top. Let's put ourselves on 85. 3 riders into the attack, apparently. I don't know who it is. Don't care. Do care. I want to see who it is. It is... who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Van Aert, Van der Poel, and so forth. And I'm getting dropped. I'm getting dropped. But I'm still here. In the third group. Small detail. But I don't think I can afford to follow the group ahead. We're trying for a best possible result. Nico in chat says you can use your snake button to move up in the group, but... the problem is more that I didn't have the speed to get up. It wasn't that I was getting blocked. If I was getting blocked, I would do what you say, though. Let's move up over the Bosberg. Let's move up over the Bosberg. And still a group of quite a bit of riders ahead. 10 kilometers to go. I think we got just about... we might not have enough yellow to survive until the finish in this group. Because this tempo is ridiculous. I just want to stay in the group, guys. Come on, calm down. We've got... Van der Poel's gonna win. 3, 9 riders, 10 riders ahead. So top 10 is not happening. Dries de Bond is back. And for some reason, he still doesn't want to work for us. So what is your point, Dries? Nobody likes you. Energy Gel. Can I get into the wheel of someone that can sprint? I'm spending so much energy moving up, though. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. I can't afford to move up like this. I cannot afford to move up like this. But if I want anything out of this race, I have to. You know? Anyone with a sprint. Just anyone. Rick Plymers. Can I get to your wheel? Spending so much yellow doing that. Stay in the wheel. Just stay in the wheel. We've got some red. We've got some red. Get ready. Last kilometer. Right here. Pikachu in the wheel stays in the wheel. Come on, come on, come on. I don't think it's top 20. I think it's top 25. Yeah, I'm worried about 21st. No! I wanted a top 20. Ah, 21st for Teddy Pikachu. In his first World Through Cobble Classic, which is actually a pretty solid result. But 21st means that if I saved any more energy at any point in the race, I could have potentially made it to the top 20. So that's why it hurts so much. It hurts so much. Nonetheless, the winner is Mathieu van der Poel. That man won. We get 21st, which is a lot better than this guy. There is the Bond buddy. Time to retire. Time to retire. Anyway. Ooh, baby! Look at it. Look at it, boys. 60 XP, 50 XP, 40 XP, 30 XP. Huh? Wait. First victory in World Tour? I don't know about you, but I've got this feeling that getting 21st is not a victory. Getting 21st is not a top 3. Getting 21st is not a top 5. Getting 21st is not a top 10, in fact. I should have gotten 20 XP instead of 200. This makes no sense. But I'll take it. Like, you can't look a gift horse in the mouth. So I decide not to look this gift horse in the mouth. Because at the end of the day, my team's unhappy with me after getting 21st, best of the team, just because I didn't work for anyone else. If anything, their lesson should be that the rest of the team sucks. I'm the winner. Especially according to the game. Look at my XP. But sadly, this means we're leveling up, which I wasn't hoping to do yet. We can't do evolution of potentials. We have to do progression of attributes, but we're not getting much out of that. It's because our training percentage isn't that high yet. Because I bottled the last episode, so... But I think at this stage, right, Northern Classics improves our stage racing? Why? This improves 2 time trial, 1 prologue, 1 medium mountain, 1 resistance. This takes the upgrades from mountain away, gives me 1 more cobble, and an extra barrier. I think it's stage races, guys. Like, it's not the upgrade we were hoping for, but it is an upgrade. And getting our time trial up is important. 80 resistance as well, so that is pretty good for both climbing and time trial. And probably cobble as well, to be honest. So I guess we'll go for that. Garner in chat says that green on gray is still unreadable. I fully agree with you. The game should change that, especially this mountain stat. Unreadable. There we go, confirmation. These are old stats, so that is not updated yet. But we can spend a skill point. I am thinking, we got full technique, that's okay. I don't give a crap about stealth. Super leader. Oh, you can't see that. Super leader, don't care. So if we upgrade anything, it's on the left side of the screen, I think, because information, patch and observation, not too intrigued by. I do care about potential charisma, race calendar points, I like that. So that's intriguing. Or or Fitness Peak points? What do you think, chat? What do you think? I think it's either Charisma or Fitness Peak. I'll let you decide. Back in the day, I made a poll in chat. Let's do that. Let's make a poll. Poll. Charisma. Fitness Peak. There's typos in that poll. Just ignore that. It's time to vote, boys. It's time to vote. I'll give it about 30 seconds, so you're going to have to vote very quickly. It's close. 40. Oh, it's about 50-50 at the moment. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Poll ended, and the winner is 54% for Charisma. I did not expect that. There we go. You voted. You got what you wanted. One more race for today. Kuurne, Brussels, Kuurne. Because then I will mentally prepare to get absolutely dropped on Zwift. Because I feel shit today. So, 195.2 kilometers. It's a lighter version of Omloop. More flat at the end. So, we are 9th favorite? How? I've got 68 sprint. What is this game thinking? That's crazy. I'll take it. Okay, shall we? Final race of the day, chat. Hope you're enjoying these live streams. For the people that missed the start of today's... Ooh, we got an entire team for us. We are leader. Finish in the top 10. Let's try and do so. Our entire team can go to the front. We've got a 0 day on our entire team, including ourselves. Bomboy can protect us. And the rest of the squad can just chill, I guess. That's what I'm thinking. I'll maybe put Van den Einde on automatic so that he can basically just get water bottles automatically. But I would say that if you missed the start of today's live stream, firstly, there's a Sirocco video coming later this week and a Zwift video, so stay tuned for that. I will say I still have a lot of editing to do for the Zwift video, but ideally I get that out by Friday, maybe on Saturday, hopefully. And then on top of that, Sunday is the start of the Vertislow 400 Zwift League. In case you don't watch my Zwift videos, that is a Zwift racing series I do every single year. And I really enjoy doing that because it really challenges me. Those are hard races, 40, 55 kilometers. And yeah, I'm going to start doing them. 6 weeks, a race every Sunday. And you have 2 time slots, 10 in the morning, 6 in the afternoon, European time. And I want you to challenge. I am challenging you, is what I'm saying, to join me as well. Because the more the merrier. So check out the fast link in the description. Anyway, 170 kilometers to go. So let's time-mate this shit, because otherwise it will take a year. In real life in Kuurne, Brussels, Kuurne, breakaway is actually a big deal. On PCM, not so much, I feel like. To be honest, it could be. Either way, I expect this race to be ridden quite passively. I think this race is going to be just a sprint at the end. No? I think that's usually how it goes. Breakaway is 17 riders? What the hell? That's crazy. I only realized that now. Let's hope they don't win. Would be a bit awkward for the last race in this live stream. So, first climb coming, the Mont Saint Laurent. Let's move ourselves up a little bit. Even though this first climb is not going to be the most selective in the world, so it's not the end of the world that we are not in a perfect position. And I'll try to move up with my entire team, actually. And the tempo dies on the climb as well, by the way, so... Is it? No, it's actually a pretty solid tempo on the cobbles here. So times 2. Three minutes towards the breakaway, so I think that's under control. It really depends on how selective the peloton is. If the full peloton gets across the hills, then there's enough firepower to catch that breakaway. Niels Eekhoff attacks. I think there's a possibility that a group attacking away gets to the breakaway and then potentially starts winning. That's what I'm thinking about. Got some people moving here. Intermarché is spacing. I assume that's for Binion. Is it? Can't be for Ruch, right? Who do they have? Intermarché, where are you? Am I blind? I think I'm blind. There. Why are they pacing? Look at that team. I'm not feeling a favorite when I look at that team. Crash in the peloton. 3 minutes towards the breakaway. A bit dangerous. Should I put some riders at the front to start working? To be honest, I kind of need to join the breakaway, no? Don't I? Maybe on a later climb I can try and bridge to the break or something. Because from the peloton it's going to be a sprint and I can't really compete because I'm not a sprinter. So maybe on the second half here of the climbs. Maybe on that steep segment. Gap is 2:38. Break is under control. It's just going to be a sprint, guys. I'm sorry. I don't expect that break to make it. I don't expect myself to be able to attack on these hills and get away. Maybe an attack later in the race is possible. Trying to move myself up. There we go. The rest of the team can move up towards Pika as well. Côte de Trio is coming. The Knokteberg. This is the steep one. Gap is 220 to the front of the race. I don't... If I attack here, I'm not doing well in this race, you know? Don't think that's realistic. Especially with so many domestiques still present in the peloton and the break falling apart as we speak. Out of Quaremont incoming, so it's an older version of Kuurne. It has to be. Let's move up. Get Lokes in the wheel or something so we can protect... Actually, Lokes can take over from Bomboy. And Kopetsky can get in the wheel as our future domestique. Break has 2 minutes 25 now, so the gap is going up, but the break has diminished to 14 riders. On to the Oude Quaremont. I'll try and put the Bond and Stockman at the front of the group. Maybe a bit late to do so, to be honest. Because we're already on the Oude Quaremont. I don't think attacking here is useful. Gap is 2 minutes with 60 kilometers to go, so the break does not win. The break is probably going to fall apart, if anything. The Bond and Stockman can go to the front and try something in terms of relay, but it's just to keep the group going, you know? Ruben in chat asks, hoe selecteer je twee riders? How do you select 2 riders or more, but not the entire team? For example, I select Pikachu, I hold control, and I select the next one. Hold control, select the next one. That's how it works. Or if you want to select them all at the same time, tap the 0 button on your keyboard. And they're all selected. If you don't have a 0 numpad on the right of your keyboard, you can also, on the left of the riders, click on the black box here. Do you see that gray box? Click on that, selects all the riders. Last 50 kilometers gap is down to 1 minute 55. Plenty of domestiques left in the peloton. I don't think I'm the best option for my team. I think Kopetsky is. That guy has a sprint. I don't. Last 40 kilometers, gap is down to 130. Less than 130, 1 minute, it's all falling apart. People are starting to make moves in the peloton now in the last 40 kilometers. Just gonna protect myself and not waste any energy here. Wait for the break to be caught. And then see if attacking in the final is a good idea or not. I hope there's opportunities like that because a sprint will not be a victory for me. We can't win this race anyway, so just getting that out of the way. But a sprint would definitely not be good for me is what I'm saying. Energy-wise, we're looking good. We've got some attacks of the front. We've got Neospolid going. These singular attacks won't do anything, so I don't care. It's also 30 kilometers to go, so it's too early for this shit. But we are spending lots of energy, so if we are spending energy just staying in this group, then lots of other riders will be doing the same. Lox is almost done for. Which means that Kopetsky is going to have to work soon, despite being the better option on this race, I'd say. Considering the energy spendage in this peloton, an attack could work in the final. Being protected by Thomas Kopetsky now. Lox is done for. More attacks by Stefan Kung together with Sander de Pestel. Degenkolb is doing something, closing down. They're now closing Killig in the wheel. I expect Timo Killig to be pretty good at the Visma Lease bike team next year. Söderqvist on the right together with Del Grosso, Van Dijk and Schwarzbacher. We know Schwarzbacher from somewhere else, don't we? Last 21k. Laporte, Hagenes, Segard. Fredheim is potential sprinter. Baroncini, so not Milan. Trying to look at potential sprinters here, but a lot of riders have no energy left, so I think an attack is possible. Ideally with a couple of riders, but I'll have to wait until the final. So, Christopher, we've got an LSCP Zwift race on Thursday evening at 8 o'clock European time, powered by Join Cycling. I'm also competing in the Vertislow 400 Zwift League on Sunday, and that's at 10 o'clock in the morning or 6 in the afternoon European time as well. And I would like to invite you at least for that Vertislow one because, well, they sponsor me, so the more people I can get into that race, the happier my sponsor is. Full transparency. But also, the more people in that race, the better for my videos, because I make videos about those races, you know? Last 11 kilometers, I'm trying to survive desperately. The more we hold on, the better. Peloton is down to 40 people, so all these attacks, it's doing something. Lox is punctured, but he was gone already. Just holding on, just holding on. There goes the group. Any domestiques in this group to try and catch that? I think Visma still has lots of riders. Olaf Koy is here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Definitely the favorite. Let's move up. Our yellow bar is not looking great. We don't have energy to attack. We just don't. That's a Koy is done for. Koy is done for, so Visma's closing that down. Hold on, Pikachu, hold on. Just hold on. The longer we hold on, the better our result. Come on. The front group is about to get caught. We don't have the yellow bar to jump towards that group, I think. But they're getting caught as we speak, so that's good. We are going to try and get to the wheel of Fredheim on the right side of the road. I'm going to try and get past right now. This is insane. This is insane. There goes the attack of Teddy Pikachu in the final. This is maybe stupid, but I'm doing it anyway. There goes Teddy Pikachu. 16 seconds on the next group. Söderqvist, am I will. No! Söderqvist! No! No! Teddy Pikachu finishes second in Kuurne, Brussels, Kuurne. What if that timing was perfect? It was perfect. Oh, that is so painful. That is so incredibly painful. No! Ah! Come on! Second place behind Jakob Söderqvist. Teddy Pikachu. He waited for his moment. Inch by inch, crawling to the front in the last kilometers, and such a good result, though. Such a good finish. Ay, ay, ay. Can't believe it. We podiumed Kuurne, boys. Great shit. Did not expect that to happen. I'll be honest about that. Did not expect that. Thank you, Alan Klein. Thank you, Fabian. What a finish. What a race. Look at him. Well, he's not on the podium. Imagine him on that second step of the podium. Teddy Pikachu. He's the girl on the left, right? The winner is in the middle. Second place is on the right or on the left? I actually don't know. Jakob Söderqvist, man. Crazy. Alan Klein in chat says that Söderqvist is the man that denied us a top 20 in Omloop by getting 20th ahead of us. And now he denies us the victory in Kuurne. Jakob Söderqvist, I formally announce you enemy of Teddy Pikachu for the rest of our career. My goodness. Prime Jonas in chat says you forgot the energy gel. Well, it's a Benji Nasen live stream, so it's not a surprise, but it could have made the difference. It could have made the difference. Teddy P, what a result. Second in Kuurne. That is fantastic. I'm sad, but I'm very happy. Very, very difficult to be both at the same time, but this is an example where I am. And we get exceptional second place. Wow. 33 XP. Wow. This is the one where I would have wanted a 200 XP, you know? Anyway, almost level 15 actually. But, chat, I'm afraid I've got bad news. Our rider has grown. Our results were good today compared to last stream. But, at the end of the day, this is the end of today's live stream. Hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed moving through the calendar. And I can't wait to do the Tirreno Adriatico live stream. Probably not this week. Maybe next week. Definitely in the next 2 weeks. I'm sorry that streams are a bit here and there. But videos are a little bit more important for my channel. And that's honestly the reason. But if I have more time, I will always plan in a live stream because I like chatting with you guys in person. But I'm afraid that is the end of today's live stream. As always, like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're new, which I severely doubt because you're watching a live stream and you've been watching for an hour and a half, so that usually doesn't happen. I'm going to get a ready meal lasagna in the microwave to eat some lunch. And then a bit later, I'll do a Zwift race myself. So see you there. Well, not see you there. I'm just doing a Zwift race by myself. Not see you there. Anyway, ciao, ciao. I enjoyed it.